Rolling. We are doing BrtbTV table talk.
Hey.
What's on the table for discussion tonight?
Relationships, how well you do in them, and things that I guess you aren't willing to tolerate
in a relationship.
Okay.
So deal breakers.
Deal breakers.
I like it.
I feel like we've had this conversation, but I'm here for it.
All right, give me your deal breaker. First deal breaker on the table. Give it to me, quick.
A person that cannot hold down a home, meaning anything inside of a household, and you're with a partner. Should I just give examples? Like,
of course.
So example is I'll put it up there. No, I'm not gonna put it up there. But a person like, for instance, it's the winter now. You're complaining that you're cold in a house when everyone knows that you put the plastic up at the windows in the winter.
Wait, I don't like when you start a sentence with everyone knows. You learn.
Okay, well, I've learned that, most people know, but I've learned that, to keep your heat inside the house, because most windows have cracks and crevices and stuff that air can creep in and stuff. You put plastic up at the windows. In the city, that's what that's what we do.
Did you learn that?
So that's what we do in the city.
Did you learn that?
It's because
you learned that? Did you learn that?
Yeah, so don't feel
no.
So
okay.
No.
So not everyone, but so you learned that, and what happened in that situation when they didn't put plastic on the windows?
They kept complaining about they were being cold, and I had to do it, and then they asked me what I was doing.
Not everyone knows that though.
No, we had just did it in the previous apartment that we
Did you get mad that he didn't know to do it?
I didn't get mad that he didn't know to do it, because it's not. I didn't get mad because he didn't know to do it. I got mad because he didn't think to do it.
Because he
that wasn't even a thought in yours, knowing that we had previously did it in the other apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's something that we should like. It's just it's small stuff. Like, it's very
okay.
small.
So examples. When you say small stuff, what are you expecting?
A basket of laundry.
What are you expecting from your partner?
To hold down the fucking house. I'm not. I'm not expecting perfection, because I'm
home maintenance,
myself.
Chores.
Yeah,
that's important to him.
Yeah, being able to hold down the house.
Overall cleanliness.
You can't call it a home. It can be. It can be dirty. Like
maintaining cleanliness.
Yeah. What's your love language, Marquis?
My love language, I cook. I love to cook for my partners, and my love language would be just like just doing miscellaneous things for my partner, just like run your bath. Like, I do everything. It's nothing that I'm not willing to do for my partner. So I have everything is my love language, honestly.
That's how you show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And any way I can think.
How do you like to be shown love?
In majority of the same ways that I show it. I would love for. I don't know. I just feel like I want to be treated like a king, because that's my ideal and that's my approach when it comes to my partner.
Question. So do you give that same thing?
Yes.
Treat them
exactly the exact same thing. And if it's not reciprocated, I'm not getting it. I don't care what you think your title is with me or what. If it's not reciprocated, you're not getting it. Because
so basically, everything you do, you want them to do the same.
I was not
most things. Yes.
You want someone to show you love the way you show it to them.
In most cases, yes.
So you just want somebody with compatible. There needs to be compatibility with that.
Mm-hmm. Love language. Yeah.
All right. So enough about you, Lawrence. Go ahead. What are your deal breakers?
This mac and cheese is hit.
Deal breakers, guys. Everybody on the live, go ahead and post what are your deal breakers.
I got what's wrong.
Oh, you're not ready. Okay.
Can I get a coaster? I see something that I think I might have done, but I didn't do it. So
it's like a major deal breaker for me. It's so hard. I'm so open-minded.
Not being able to willing to experiment.
Experiment what?
No, I'm saying that's it.
It's so funny because, like, after my last relationship, I remember writing down everything that I wouldn't do again and what was a deal breaker for me. But because of almost 2 years has elapsed, I can't remember what that list is. And I also haven't been dating.
Well, what are some of the things that you like to do inside your relationship?
That I like to do? I like to be alone with someone else. What that means to me is just having company, but that don't mean we gotta be talking to each other. That don't mean we gotta actually be interacting. But we'll probably maybe like, your foot was on my ankle, or
I like small stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
So basically, you want somebody that can shut the fuck up sometimes.
That you could be
shut
quiet
the fuck
with.
up. But exist in my space without impeding or interrupting my peace. If that makes sense of any kind. I like that, and knowing when to switch into gear mode when it's time to interact. Like we can go into nothingness, effortless conversation easily.
Without it being awkward.
Yeah, it shouldn't be awkward. I have all my closest friends. We have a way like there's never any awkward interaction. Like our conversation is so easy. I've had that in majority of my relationships, and I appreciated both of them. So I need that. I need there to be like a very open line of communication.
Marquise Clanton said, "Where is true love? Because everything is fans only." Can you reiterate that a little bit? Because that can be taken a few different ways.
I think they're alluding to the trend of OnlyFans, fans only.
But even in that, I think that we're so controlled by these societal standards that's been put in place. It's like everyone's afraid of what the next person is going to think. Everyone's so afraid to just do this, be themselves, and like this certain thing, or want to be this certain way or do this certain thing because of what someone else is going to think.
Popular opinion.
Yeah, and it causes people to not truly be themselves. So in turn, they can't find or connect with the person that they really should be with because they're protruding this.
So give an example. What do you mean?
Well, I got one. I mean, okay, let me start first with, I need people to be themselves and be honest about what they like and be open to things that they're interested in, but they probably don't see themselves dating. What I mean by that, they mentioned the OnlyFans. Y'all read OnlyFans and dating somebody with an OnlyFans, but you masturbate to OnlyFans accounts? That don't make sense to me. You tip strippers, but you don't date them? You masturbate to porn, but you don't date porn stars?
Hey!
Some of this shit don't necessarily make sense to me.
Double standards.
It's kind of a double standard. It's a bit tricky. But I do understand why that would necessarily be this difficult way of finding a peaceful space with dating someone in the sex industry.
You know how I feel about that? I feel like everybody has their own.
I want them to
doubles.
really separate stripping from the sex industry because those are two very different things. And although while you are pleasing someone else in that moment, in a way, even though you're not fucking them, you're still pleasing them because to be a stripper, you have to create a fantasy. To be a successful stripper, you have to be able to create a fantasy and draw people in at all times and keep them
You're saying
entertained.
that's not sex work.
That's not really sex work to me.
It's lewd. It's lewd.
I think
It's still a form of sex work, and I think that everyone in the sex industry create these boundaries of I'm not that. Like I'm not a stripper. I'm not a prostitute. I'm a porn star, or I only escort with one sugar daddy. Like they create all of these boundaries.
I'm better
in
than
essence.
like,
in
yeah.
essence, they're all very loosely cousins and
To me, it's all
brothers and
one.
sisters of the same. Yeah,
Only
and yeah.
missing is
But at the end of the day,
And it's like how, no, because one, I'm a stripper, so I can actually speak on it. I don't do half the shit that people think strippers do. Like they think we're in the back room fucking and sucking on each other and bringing people back and doing this. We do drugs, we just promiscuous as fuck. Like it's just a whole bad stigma around it, and people don't really understand that it's a job. It's a fucking job.
But somebody would say that a porn star.
I support.
Sucking on nobody. I'm out here making my money.
I
If they wanna
support.
see
But my
dick,
thing
hey,
is,
yeah.
you do know, okay, conventionally, that's still inappropriate in terms of
How is that
traditional
inappropriate?
monogamy.
Traditional, but that's
Traditional
going off of someone
monogamy.
else's standards and someone else's expectations and someone
Absolutely.
else's thoughts and understandings.
Absolutely.
That
But
can't
I
be
just
forced
don't want.
because I'm an entirely different person than the person that created that way of thinking. I don't do it exactly how they do it.
Absolutely. So, okay, I have this interesting question. So, a lot of people, I told them that you know, you cannot be monogamous and also be in the sex work industry. Because those things almost clash. Well, stripping is a little bit different, but when you're talking about porn stars and you're talking about prostitutes and stuff.
Okay, so if you're separated there, why can't you separate and take that outside of the sex work?
But I don't necessarily create.
Necessarily anything involved.
It's a very distinct. What I'm saying is there are very distinct examples of it because this. Fucking somebody is not the same as necessarily. With a stripper, there's people touching on you. They can be touching on your body. There's you flapping your dick around, putting your dick on somebody's forehead. But traditional monogamy wouldn't support that way of thinking.
Traditionally.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is it's not necessarily monogamy. Monogamy is about anything that's in the realm of being sexual with another person. It's usually with one person. So it still wouldn't be necessarily monogamous to me.
What do you feel, Lawrence?
I feel a lot of things, but you know I don't like talking over. You feel me?
That's the point of table talk. The talk and go over it.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
At least have some type of, you know what I'm saying?
What? Have some type of what?
But as far as like when you say like somebody dating a stripper, it depends on their connection, their understanding, the glue that holds them together. Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's just opinion. That's it. If you break it down, just like your opinion on that is your opinion. The next person had their own opinion flipped.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Each relationship is unique.
I mean, I've dated, you know, a porn star, and that's pretty much what it was. I knew what I was getting myself into, and I separated that just because the feelings that I had for him. That was it.
But
again, I knew what I was getting myself into.
Does that become a problem for you? Do you voice your opinions or concerns about that?
Oh yeah.
Why? Because when you initially got with him, you accepted it. So why does it bother you? Why would you allow it to bother you later on down in the line?
It didn't bother me, like
because you know
listen. With me, with anybody, everybody has their own line that they draw. Like, okay, that's enough. Certain rules.
So I mean, what line could you?
Listen. Like I said, signing up for that, I knew what I was getting myself into. However, like I said, I separated the whole porn star, you know, facade and who he was personally. You know what I'm saying? And with me having that connection with him, it comes with certain respect, right? So I already know you're gonna have fans. You already know you're gonna, you know, do what you do. But to me, all I asked for was respect in my face. You know what I'm saying? If I'm here, cut all that shit out. At least keep it to a minimum. You know what I'm saying?
Meaning that persona that you have as far as the work.
Yeah, I get it. I get that's your job. You know what I'm saying? But keep it to a, you know, that's all I ask. That's it.
This is why it gets tricky with that. I'm not about to, like, if I'm dating somebody, I'm not about to be entering 1, 2, 3 months in, talking about you need to stop all that shit that you've been doing to get money. I'm not doing that. Because, and another thing is that, people are lured into this. They are driven by sex. It's really the fantasy of them. And then when all that goes away, all the clouds and smoke, and they realize, okay, now I'm dating you as a person, and you're not the person I fantasized over and sexualized and objectified. I'm actually thinking about the way you think and operate and how you interact with other human beings. And now I take issue with your sex work.
Yeah, because when I first met him, I didn't know. And then it took
How did you find out?
He told me. You know, he told me. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
So was that enough?
It wasn't planned. We got to know each other. We didn't have sex till maybe like a month in. I mean, of course, he was attractive. You know, the shit was there, but with us,
get past. There was something about.
I mean, I feel like, especially on his part, it's common. This shit normal. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a porn star. That's what he get all day, every day. You know what I'm saying?
So,
and with me
being want something different, did he approach it as like he didn't want to have sex initially off the bat?
No, he didn't have sex. You know what I'm saying? Don't chill on that. Hey, he understood because same thing with me. You know, people throw themselves at you. It's easy as fuck to find sex. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? But what was different between us was the connection. You know what I'm saying? Our vibes. Everything was different than what we were used to at the time. So it was worth it. It made sense. I gave it a shot.
But separate from our conversations, I gotta ask a question. But do you think that sometimes in situations like that, that some of these porn stars, right? They meet someone you're obviously very attractive. You know what I'm saying? You have a look where they date you with the intention of, okay, well, eventually,
he's gonna give this up.
oh, he's gonna be doing porn too.
Oh, wait.
No, let's keep it real. No,
Or just
a lot of these porn stars.
I've never seen that, but well, actually, no.
Yeah.
Wes, Wes, I think got into porn that way. He was dating
Some of the where they look at it like,
guy.
okay, this one right here, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think
this
he
could be a
started
moneymaker
porn
right
through
here.
his-
Do you understand
but-
what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but I personally would do that. Like, you're not gonna make me do it. No,
you're not gonna make me what?
Like, I remember somebody asking, like, if somebody I was dating had like an OnlyFans, would you like get on it too? I'm like, no, that's theirs. Like, they don't have nothing.
And I honestly wouldn't have a problem with it. Why? Because I mean, you showing it all. It's like.
But if we
it's
decide that that's up to us, I mean,
Yeah.
in essence. But no, I do want to know.
So you would be okay with your boyfriend creating OnlyFans?
Yes, I would not care. Why? Because one, I wouldn't care. One, because why? You're making money from it. You're bringing in something while putting something out there.
So you
it's
say
not
only,
like you just randomly sending niggas.
when you
views
saying
and-
OnlyFans, if he had one personal, like self-pleasing and stuff like that, what if he was like, oh, I want to do things on OnlyFans for the people, with people and stuff like
If
that?
you brought it to me and it wasn't doing it like sneaking out there and trying to do it with somebody else, just want to end it out and see it. But if you brought it to me and
What's
I
one
didn't
thing
mind-
you're not do? What's one thing you ain't allowing as his boyfriend? If he had an OnlyFans, you're like, oh no, you ain't doing that.
I can't get with. I'm not gonna say I can't. I don't see it right now as far as like I don't know, cause like I'm not really that person. Like I don't want to say I don't care because it comes off a little different, but I really don't care. Like you're not fucking nobody else, you're not sucking on nobody else, you're not out here prostituting in that sense. But like you're literally at home, it's a hustle. Niggas want to pay to watch you, pay up.
Sometimes
Bring
it's
the
not
money
all-
home and then let's do us. Like,
Sometimes
I don't
what about
care.
people pay for
And if
private
I was a-
shows?
Yeah, and it's no different than me. And I have to have such an open mind because of the field that I'm in. Like I can't really be like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I don't like that, because the same person can say that about me.
Okay, so
Not that I would give a fuck, but
and I was gonna ask you about that. Like, okay, so technically you can't really be in a traditionally monogamous relationship. So how do you try to, I don't know, compromise or accommodate people that may be?
there is no compromise when it comes to my dancing because
I'm not talking about you stop doing what you're doing, but like, is there?
there's no compromise because one, I don't disrespect myself, and I definitely won't disrespect my partner when it comes to dance. I'm a very respectful dancer, which is why I separate myself from a lot of the.
What is a respectful dancer? I don't know.
I'm not out there. I'm not out there putting my dick in nobody's mouth. I'm not trying to get no ass in the back room. All that extra
Gotcha.
stuff. I'm not out there doing, what traditionally people that strip
What they do on
Yeah.
the side, right?
drugs, all that shit. I'm not doing all that. I'm there to make my money. I enjoy the art of dancing, and I get to be nude, and I get to get paid for it. Like, what better? That's perfect to me.
I only came to dance.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna dance for y'all. That's
I only
it.
came to dance.
I'm gonna be this character, but once it's time for this club to close, he's gone. He stays here.
Do you give time for people to adapt? Because that's not
Yeah.
as common as you think it is.
Honestly, I'll give you time to adapt. However, if you met me, I don't want to hear shit about that. If you met me dancing, I don't want to hear anything about me dancing other than I having a show tonight.
Don't get with me and expect me to, like, I don't know, you thought I was gonna drop all this or
I say that you can look like that, but I say that because I'm a very open and upfront person. I'm a very, very direct person. I'm going to tell you everything that you're getting yourself into when you're dealing with me, which is why I don't deal with a lot
That
of
saves
things.
time.
You could decide for
Don't
yourself.
play that shit. So
Hell of time.
I'm gonna let you know right here because I don't have a week, 2 weeks, or a month, or 2 months. to
So
wait.
opposed to changing me, you can make a
getting
decision.
this. You want this or not? Flat out. At the end of the day, niggas coming down the
this or
dozen.
not.
I'm gonna keep running into people who I connect with on different levels and on different,
I agree.
different areas. So like, I'm not sweating that. What I like to be that, I like our connection. But if you don't want to accept this, there's nothing I can do. It's time to move on.
It's in all likelihood that you think you will have a more, potentially, your most successful relationship will be with somebody that is also in the industry?
I feel like it wouldn't, because most of the things that I like would, I guess, that would take away from that. Because if we're both, it's like I used to be the person that I was only home once a week. Like I was in one state, had to get to another state, East Coast from West Coast. Like it was that I personally couldn't honestly deal with that. Now, if they're telling me that that's something they couldn't deal with, fine and dandy, that's your decision. But I also couldn't deal with that. So that's why I couldn't date anybody. Is that I could date a porn star, I could date a stripper, but if you're gone that much, when I'm home and I'm not on the road that much, I want you next to me sometime or most times. I won't get upset if you got your money to me. By all means, go make your money. But I feel like there would come a time where I'm like, okay, I want you home. Like I want to cook my nigga dinner tonight.
So it's safe to say.
Do that.
It's good for you to have a person that isn't into that. So it's almost like when you're out of it, when you're not working, it's almost like a breath of fresh air.
Think about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at it. I don't have to see it. I don't have to nothing. It's just this is my nigga. We home. Boom. Not
same shit every day.
What state was you in today? Did you make I don't want to think about none of that because once my character comes off after the club, that's it. I don't see him. I don't know nothing shit about it. All I know is I got money at the end of the night. I'm packing up and go home. I don't bring him home. He never sees that side of me unless he comes to the club. Period. Now I do a little sit in the bedroom, because it's unfair to me to do that to somebody else that I don't know just for money and then not do that to please my nigga. So that's how that works.
Would you be okay with the reality that the likelihood that someone that isn't in the industry is least likely to agree with that?
Well, to each his own.
Okay.
I mean, that's that pain. I can't change that. I wouldn't try to either. Like I said, it's either you with it or you're not. It's gonna be between. I'm not gonna.
There's a lot of motherfuckers that gonna be with it.
No, it's a lot of people that say they're okay with it, but
until they ain't not.
I'm not even gonna say dating. I've interacted with a lot of people, and it went from a couple weeks of us hanging out. So like, yo, you wanna stop dancing or? I don't really like you doing this. Okay, well, you don't like me at all. Delete my number.
No, I'm not.
It really goes like that.
That's funny. I said this the other day. I show up who I am, what I am, how I dress, how I look, 24/7.
Yeah.
Because, and for me, if you ain't for me, you know right off the bat that you ain't for me.
So on that note,